Hello, Cleveland, and everyone from everywhere else. Take two. So, take one, I did all the things on the chart, and turns out I never turned my microphone on. So, I have a video of me doing a bunch of charting without any talking over it. So, I'm going to do some magic here and just do this again, the voice part again, while watching the video. And that way I don't have to do all the charting again. And yeah, so here we are. Give me a like, give me a subscribe before we get started. I know we've already kind of got started here. I'm going to go look at the 90-minute chart here, and we'll see that that symmetrical triangle didn't play down all the way to its measured move. Price action actually found support from the local support level, that 618 fib retracement, and the last low there that we had, that would be the local low there, the local support. Now technically they're forming a small bullish div there. I don't think I got to that yet. I'll get there. First I was moving out the fib retracement, and look, talking about that 200, how it's slowly moving its way up into the golden pocket of the fib retracement. So that would be a good spot for a bounce if we did see some downside here on the 90-minute chart. And yeah, so now I don't remember what I was saying here. Oh, I was talking about the volatility. Volatility is rather high, even though it does look like we're still in a squeeze here on the 90-minute chart. And yeah, so did I get into... Yeah, here we go. I was gonna draw it out, but then I decided I would just move that symmetrical triangle that we're not going to use anymore because it didn't play out. The top trend line got broken. But yeah, so I'm moving that to show the bullish div that we have going on here, with a higher low being formed here on price action and a lower low being formed on the RSI. Took me a second to get that. Give me a sec here. I'm gonna make it bigger and make it easier to do, so you can see it even easier here as well. The lower low there on the RSI, where we'll make it green since that's a bullish indicator, a bullish div. Yeah, higher lows here on price, lower lows there on RSI. We're also seeing a double bottom pattern printing, and there's the one, there's the other bottom, and the measured move of that bottom, you would take it from, well, for the first, it would move, not the measured move, the extended move. It usually plays out to where it started, which would be right about 105.5. There's our target for that double bottom there. And the extension of the double bottom would be from the bottom to the middle. And then we move that to where it would end up. And we would get an extension up to our all-time highs. And that actually correlates with the measured move of the bull flag that we are still in, actually. Yep, still in that bull flag. Can just move it out a little bit. There's our downtrend. And our uptrend, our upside trend, upper trend, our upper trend line for our bull flag there. It's kind of switched gears and is heading to the downside. Just use the the old trend line there from the symmetrical triangle to show it, but you can see that it actually has been broken. Price action's broken up above that trend line. So I'll turn it green here in a sec. I was talking about the Stokes here. Stokes are overbought, or are overbought, but they both look pretty strong. The RSI and the Stokes there, so like possibly more upside coming, honestly. Extended it down. I was gonna say, hey, this is kind of forming a symmetrical or a descending triangle, but with that upper bound being broken already, it's not anymore. So we'll see if another top comes in here, but yeah, everything's looking kind of bullish on the 90-minute chart. I mean, except for that Stoke being overbought and that old bearish div there in red that we have. Now, if that bearish div is still in play, though, that would cancel out the bullish div. But it's been broken. RSI has moved over that trend line, so we're gonna say it played out there already. That was the play out of that bearish div, and we're gonna get rid of it. And that really just leaves us with like mostly bullish signs here on the 90-minute chart. Yeah, mostly bullish. A little bearish with that RSI with the Stokes being overbought. Let's take a look at the 22 just to see where it's kind of pointing. Stokes are overbought there as well. And and one more thing I wanted to show you. There is also I don't know what I was trying to show you here. I don't know what I was saying there. I was saying that with the Stokes on the 22 pointing to the upside, that just might make the Stokes there on the 90-minute get stuck like they did before there, and also could get stuck there on the 22. You know, with the RSI is in bullish territory over its signal line, looking bullish. Just got another higher high there on the 22. Here's where I go back and I talk about the cup and handle here. There's a cup and handle on the 90-minute chart as well that I forgot to mention. There's the cup. There's the handle. Turn that white. Match the cup. And we'll take a measured move of the cup and handle. That would be from taking the bottom of the cup to the top of the cup and moving that to the breakout point of the handle. And that gives us 106. Not a big move, but hey, it's a move up. We'd be, breaking out of this squeeze that we've been in for a little bit now. So yeah, let's take a look at the 22 again, or at the 5, just to see where the 22 is kind of going. Stokes wise, the 5 is pointing to the downside, so could see some downside here. RSI though is sticking to bullish territory and over its signal line, showing bullish momentum. So usually the RSI turns around before the Stokes do, and you can see that the Stokes have their angle's not as extreme now, so it does look like they could be following the RSI up. And hey, if it keeps going, that's great. Show us some higher highs. If we get a low though, if it does go down, as long as we can see the Stokes get to the bottom of their oscillation before price action puts in a lower low, we get a higher low in this trend here on the 1 minute, which is over its 200. We'd get a higher low in that trend on the 5 minute, which is also over its 200. Bullish signs. And as long as that oscillation comes down and comes back up on the 5, on the stochastic RSI on the 5 minute, if that comes down and comes back up, and we see that high low on the price action, then there's a good chance that we'll see that Stoke get stuck there on the 22 minute as the Stoke on the 5 minute gets turned around. The 22 minute Stoke gets stuck, and then the 90 minute Stoke gets stuck, and we'll see those upsides that we've been talking about that are more than likely going to happen. They're, I'd say, like 70%, maybe 80%. So, there's always a chance that things turn around, things go the opposite direction, but biggest chance for the next day or so is moving up to all-time highs. That's what the 90-minute chart's telling me. So now let's move on to the 6-hour chart, where you'll notice that there isn't much change in regards to price. We're still seeing this squeeze on the bull bands. Volatility is very low, but that will change rapidly as the breakout comes. So you can see it from like previous squeezes there, that when the squeeze happened, volatility started increasing at the beginning of the squeeze. You see a little bit of an increase there. Again, that doesn't say which direction that we were going to see it move, just that the breakout is coming. And we can see that the BBWP is starting to grow currently. So breakout may be imminent. Yeah, see, starting to grow. Which direction? Well, we do have that bull flag there, which would take us up to about 113, which actually kind of correlates to the other, you know, uh, the bull flag on the daily chart. But yeah, so let's see where we squeeze out. So the Stokes, they are pointing to the upside. That is different from yesterday. Uh, and while it's moving to the upside in its oscillation, that tells us that if the breakout were to occur now, it's more likely that it would be to the upside, as the Stoke tells us that bullish pressure is building. Though that can change if the pressure isn't released in terms of RSI and price moving upwards before the Stoke finds a top and starts its oscillation back to the downside, which would flip everything upside down, if that makes sense. Like then we'd be looking for, a breakout to the downside and RSI to move with it and price to move with it. So yeah, there is room to drop, even, if we do see the drop, if it turns around and drops, we have room to drop without invalidating that bull flag there. It would move the measured move down, but it wouldn't invalidate the bull flag. That measured move again up to 113. If it moved down to 97-ish, well, then, do the math. What are we at? 104 to 107. That's 7 down. So move 7 down from 113, and that gives you 106, which is right where we're at now. So if we do see that come down, we'll probably see a double top happen if we come back up. But, we'll see what happens. Let's move on to the daily. Running out of time here. Not a whole lot of, not running out of time, but the music's going to end and then it's just going to be me talking. There's not a whole lot of change on the daily either. Price action wise, we are the same as yesterday. And the only pattern we see is the big bull flag that we've been waiting to move up to its 115 target for a long while now. Maybe it will. Maybe it won't. I don't know. I just know what the charts are telling me, and that is that if the bulls do push up, the next bit of resistance is all-time high. And the next level of resistance above that will be 115. But if the bears take hold here, and they just may, we'll see some downside to our resistance. We'll see some downside to our resistance and fib levels that are below us there, 99.6, 94. You can see the fib levels there. And then we'll possibly see bounces at those levels or some sideways movements as they form bear flags and we move lower. Hopefully, though, we put in that higher low that we need to signal that the bull run isn't over. Because if we do lose those April lows, well, I'll be counting the bull run as over and I'll be counting the 4-year cycle as intact. Either way, I'm ready for it. I've liquidated the majority of my altcoins. I'm still holding a bunch of the major alts, but I've sold off most of the losers and the laggards at this point. Yeah, I'm sitting on a bunch of dry powder, just waiting for the next opportunity to start dollar cost averaging again. I think I was, yeah. And yeah, I sincerely hope that you're in the same situation. Let me know down in the comments what you got going on, whether you're sitting on dry powder, whether you're up, whether you're down. I'd love to hear it. I will respond. Sorry I went a little long in this video. I guess that's what happens when I actually write down my thoughts instead of taking the TA raw dog in the TA. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Give me a like, give me a subscribe. Much love, and I'll see you tomorrow.